1,000 things to say. I just didn't need to say them anymore. You stood there with your suitcase, waiting by the door. Said you tried to make it work, but couldn't anymore. I knew about the late nights, I knew your stories changed. I knew there was somebody behind the hidden name. You waited for my anger, for questions and a fight. I poured another whiskey and let the room go quiet. There comes a point beyond the pain when explanations change nothing. I had plenty to say, I chose silence. Could have told you everything I knew, every broken promise, every midnight, every lie you thought you hid from view. I could have shouted, could have blamed you, could have made you feel the damage too. I had plenty to say, I chose silence. And silence said enough to you. You asked me why I wasn't angry, why I didn't make you stay. Maybe you expected the man I was yesterday. There was a time I'd chase you just to change your mind, but love without respect leaves something dead behind. You whispered, say something. I looked you in the eyes. Nothing I could say could make another lie alright. I didn't need the final answer, didn't need to hear his name. Sometimes dignity is knowing when to walk away. I had plenty to say, I chose silence. Could have told you everything I knew, every broken promise, every midnight, every lie you thought you hid from view. I could have shouted, could have blamed you, could have made you feel the damage too. I had plenty to say, I chose silence. And silence said enough to you. Because he has nothing left to say. Sometimes he simply heard enough. I had plenty to say, I chose silence. And I watched you understand. You were waiting for the old me, the one who'd beg to hold your hand. But I didn't chase you, didn't stop you, didn't ask you to explain. I had plenty to say, I chose silence. Then I let you walk away. Your footsteps faded down the hallway. I finished what was in my glass, locked the door, turned off the light, and for the first time, silence silence didn't feel empty. It felt like peace. I had plenty to say. I just didn't need to say it anymore.
You thought I left that night. Truth is, you lost me long before. It wasn't one forgotten promise, or one night you came home late. It was every little silence, every time you made me wait. It was how you stopped reaching for my hand across the bed, how your eyes would leave the room before your body ever did. I kept telling myself we'd find our way somehow, but you were losing me slowly long before I walked out. A heart doesn't always break in one dramatic night. Sometimes it fades quietly while everything looks alright. You lost me before I walked away, long before I packed my things that day. Every lie, every distance took another piece away. You lost me before I walked away. By the time you finally noticed there was nothing left to say, I didn't leave you in one moment. You lost me day by day. I remember our last dinner. You were staring at your phone. We sat 3 feet from each other, but I'd never felt so alone. You asked me why I'd grown quiet. I said I'm tired, that's all. But somewhere underneath those words, I'd already built the wall. Then one evening you looked at me like you'd finally seen the change. You whispered, "Are you leaving?" I said nothing. You knew anyway. There comes a time when love gets tired of begging to be seen, and a man stops fighting for what love used to mean. You lost me before I walked away, long before I packed my things that day. Every lie, every distance took another piece away. You lost me before I walked away. By the time you finally noticed there was nothing left to say, I didn't leave you in one moment. You lost me day by day. You cried beside the doorway, said, "We can fix this, maybe once." I would have believed you, but I had spent too many nights before the suitcase, before that final day. I stayed longer than my heart did, hoping something might still change. You lost me before I walked away, so don't blame the closing doorway, don't blame the words I didn't say. The man who finally left you had been disappearing day by day. I put my key beside the glass, took my coat and crossed the floor. You called my name behind me. I stopped, but didn't turn anymore. You thought that was the night you lost me. No, that was only the night I finally walked away. There was a time I'd argue all night. Now I just leave. You can tell the story away, say I changed and walked away. Tell the room I became distant, blame me if it helps you stay. Years ago I tried to answer every rumor, every lie. Now I know some conversations aren't worth another night. I don't need to change your thinking, I don't need to prove you wrong. Some people only fit your life before you finally move on. Not every battle needs a winner, not every word deserves reply. Sometimes peace begins the moment you stop asking people why. I don't argue with people I've outgrown, I don't fight to make them see what I know. Let them talk, let them judge me, let them tell the story wrong. I don't argue with people I've outgrown. No revenge, no explanation, no need to prove how far I've gone. Some doors close without a sound, and a wise man moves on. Saw an old friend at the corner, he said, "You've changed, you're not the same." I smiled and took another whiskey, didn't bother with the blame. He remembered who I used to be when I needed everyone. But the man he came to argue with had quietly moved on.
He kept trying to provoke me, trying hard to start a fight. I put money on the table
and disappeared into the night. Growing older taught me something. Peace is worth more than pride.
You don't need the final word when you've already left it behind. I don't argue with people I've outgrown. I don't fight to make them see what I know. Let them talk, let them judge me, let them tell the story wrong. I don't argue with people I've outgrown. No revenge, no explanation, no need to prove how far I've gone. Some doors close without a sound, and a wise man moves on.
I used to think walking away meant losing. It doesn't. Sometimes staying is the loss, staying in the argument, staying in the past, staying around people who only recognize the man you used to be. So let them misunderstand. You've got somewhere else to go. I don't argue with people I've outgrown. They can keep the version of me they once knew. I don't hate them, I don't need them. I just see things differently now. I don't argue with people I've outgrown. Keep the rumors, keep the judgment, keep the battles I once fought. The strongest thing I learned from silence is knowing when to stop. The rain was falling when I left that bar. He was still talking when the door closed behind me. Maybe he thought he'd won. I hope he did. I had nothing left to prove. Some people you forgive, some people you forget, and some you simply outgrow.
For too long, I needed to know why. Not anymore. I spent too many lonely evenings replaying everything you said, looking for some hidden answer in conversations in my head. Why'd you leave without a warning? Why'd you lie when I asked you straight? Why'd the ones I trusted deeply
turned to strangers overnight. Every answer raised a question. Every question stole my time, until I finally got tired of asking darkness for the light. Some answers never come. Some truths arrive too late. And peace begins when you stop knocking on a door that won't explain. That was the night I stopped asking why. Stop searching for the truth in your goodbye. No more wondering who was guilty. No more replaying every lie. That was the night I stopped asking why. I couldn't change what you had chosen. Couldn't bring our old love back to life. So I poured one final whiskey and let the question die. Rain was running down the window, your old picture in my hand. For the first time I could hold it without needing to understand. Maybe people simply change. Maybe some things have to end. Maybe every broken story doesn't need a villain in the end. I put your picture in the drawer, didn't tear it, didn't cry. I just closed it with the questions I've been carrying every night. I thought closure was an answer. Now I know that isn't true. Sometimes closure is accepting there are things you'll never know. That was the night I stopped asking why. Stop searching for the truth in your goodbye. No more wondering who was guilty. No more replaying every lie. That was the night I stopped asking why. I couldn't change what you had chosen. Couldn't bring our old love back to life. So I poured one final whiskey and let the question die. Your reason wouldn't change the ending, and my peace couldn't keep waiting for an answer only you could give. That was the night I stopped asking why, and something heavy finally left my mind. No more searching, no more in time. That was the night I stopped asking why. I didn't erase the memories, I just stopped letting them decide how much of tomorrow I'd give away to yesterday's goodbye. I opened the window. Cold air filled the room. The city was quiet for once. So was my mind. I never found the answer. I just stopped needing one. And that was the night I stopped asking why.
She expected anger. Maybe that's what she was ready for. I gave her silence. She was waiting by the window when I walked in after 2. There was something in her eyes that told me what I already knew. She started with "I'm sorry," then reached slowly for my hand. I put my keys down on the table like a man who understands. She expected me to question every place that she had been, but I poured myself a whiskey and let silence settle in. When the truth is finally clear, there's nothing left to fight. Sometimes one quiet goodbye says more than words ever might. She expected anger, I gave her silence. Expected thunder, I gave her calm. She waited for accusations, for me to ask what went wrong. But I didn't raise my voice, didn't ask her for his name. She expected anger, I gave her silence. Then I walked away from the pain. She said, "Please just say something." I looked down into my glass. There was a time I'd fight for answers. There was a time I'd chase the past. But something in me had grown tired of repairing what she broke, and every explanation would have only been more smoke. She started crying by the doorway, said she never meant to leave. I believed that she was sorry, I just didn't need to believe. Forgiveness doesn't always mean you stay and try again. Sometimes you forgive someone and quietly let it end. She expected anger, I gave her silence. Expected thunder, I gave her calm. She waited for accusations, for me to ask what went wrong. But I didn't raise my voice, didn't ask her for his name. She expected anger, I gave her silence. Then I walked away from the pain. understand. But some answers come too late, and sometimes the reason doesn't matter once the trust is gone. So I picked up my keys, put on my coat, and said, take care of yourself. She expected anger, I gave her silence, and that's when she finally understood. The man who once would have begged her had done everything he could. No revenge, no final warning, no cruel words before goodbye. She expected anger, I gave her silence, and left her standing in the night. The elevator opened, I stepped inside. She called my name one final time. I looked back, but didn't speak. The doors closed. And sometimes that's all a goodbye needs to be. Needs to be.
Not every ending needs one more talk. Sometimes you already know. We sat across the same old table with nothing left to say. Your coffee slowly turned cold, while evening slipped away. We both knew what had happened. We both knew what had changed. There was no reason left to give the ending another name. You looked at me for answers, I looked toward the door. Some things don't need explaining when you've seen them all before. No final fight, no last offense, no need to prove who's wrong. Sometimes love is over long before someone is gone. Some goodbyes don't need a conversation, don't need another reason or explanation. No angry words, no final blame, no promises to change. Some goodbyes don't need a conversation.
You just know the time has come. You take your coat, you close the door, and quietly move on. I remember when your laughter could make the whole room disappear. Now we were sitting inches apart, and neither one felt near. You whispered, "Can we fix this?" I almost answered yes, but staying out of memory would only hurt us more. So I reached down for my jacket, left the money by my glass. Some endings aren't about forgiveness, they're about leaving the past in the past. No perfect words could save us, no speech could make it right. Sometimes dignity is knowing when to leave without a fight. Some goodbyes don't need a conversation, don't need another reason or explanation. No angry words, no final blame, no promises to change. Some goodbyes don't need a conversation. You just know the time has come. You take your coat, you close the door, and quietly move on. I used to believe every ending needed closure. One final conversation, one perfect answer, one last chance to understand. But some stories have already said enough, and sometimes the kindest final words are none at all. Some goodbyes don't need a conversation, don't need another night of explanation. No accusations, no pretending, no reason left to stay. Some goodbyes don't need a conversation. I didn't hate you, didn't blame you, didn't need the final word. I simply knew our story ended before goodbye was ever heard. I walked outside. Rain covered the street. For a moment, I thought you'd call my name. You didn't. I didn't turn around, and somehow that was enough. Some goodbyes don't need a conversation. For years I wanted to hear you say it.
called me late one evening, said you needed me to know you've been thinking of the damage and the way you let me go. You said I should have been honest, said I know I broke your trust. Those were words I once imagined when the nights were hardest on us. I listened without anger, let you finish every line. Funny how the words I needed came after I was fine. There was a time your apology could have changed everything, but time had closed the wound you opened before your phone could ring. I heard the apology, but nothing changed. I heard you whisper that you took the blame. Once those words could have saved me, once I'd waited night and day. I heard the apology, but nothing changed. I forgave you long before you ever learned what you should say. Some words arrive too late to bring an old love back again. You asked if I still missed you. I took a moment before I spoke. There are memories I still carry, but they don't hurt me anymore. I said I hope you found your peace. You asked if we could meet. I looked out across the city at the rain along the street. There was nothing left to settle, nothing left I had to prove. I'd already found the closure I once thought I'd get from you. Forgiveness doesn't mean returning, healing doesn't mean forget. Sometimes you can love the memory and still know the ending's best. I heard the apology, but nothing changed. I heard you whisper that you took the blame. Once those words could have saved me, once I'd waited night and day. I heard the apology, but nothing changed. I forgave you long before you ever learned what you should say. Some words arrive too late to bring an old love back again. You asked, is there anything I can do? I smiled, no. Not because I hated you, not because I wanted you to hurt, but because I finally understood. The apology I waited years to hear wasn't something I needed anymore. I heard the apology, but nothing changed. No anger left, and no one left to blame. I didn't need another promise, didn't need you back again. I heard the apology, but nothing changed. Maybe that's how you know you're healing, when the words you used to crave finally come, and instead of going backward, you simply smile and walk away. Before we hung up, you said, "I'm sorry." One last time, I looked out at the rain and whispered, "I know." And the line went quiet, and for once, the silence didn't hurt.
I explained enough, forgave enough, waited long enough, so this time I said nothing. You came back with the same questions, standing underneath my door. Said you wanted one more evening just to talk about before. There was a time I let you enter, pour the whiskey, stay till dawn, trying to save what we'd already spent too many years holding on. But tonight I watched you waiting for the words I used to say. I had nothing left to offer, so I quietly looked away. Some words lose their meaning when you've spoken them too long. Sometimes silence isn't weakness, it's knowing when you're done. Silence became my last word. No goodbye needed to be heard. No more questions, no explaining, no reopening what still hurt. Silence became my last word. I had said enough for years. You already knew the reasons. There was nothing left to hear. You asked if I still loved you. I won't lie and say I don't. Some feelings leave a shadow even when the person goes. But loving isn't always staying, and forgiveness isn't return. Some bridges aren't meant for crossing after everything you've learned. You waited for an answer, I slowly reached for my coat. Sometimes everything you mean can be said without a note. You, I don't blame you, I don't need to make you wrong. I just learned that peace gets louder when the arguments are gone. Silence became my last word. No goodbye needed to be heard. No more questions, no explaining, no reopening what still hurts. Silence became my
was nothing left to hear. You whispered, say something. Years ago, those two words would have kept me there all night. But I'd explain my pain, explain my distance, explained what I needed again and again. Until one day I understood, if someone only hears you when you're leaving, they weren't listening. While you stayed, silence became my last word. And somehow it said more than I could. No revenge, no accusation, no desire to be understood. Silence became my last word. You watched me turn toward the doorway and finally understood. The man who once would fight to keep you had already let you go. I opened the door. Cold air entered the room. You said my name once and twice. I stopped for a moment, but didn't turn. There was nothing left I needed to say. So I walked into the rain and let silence have the final word.
The hardest part wasn't leaving, it was learning not to look back. I stood beneath the doorway with my coat across my arm. The room behind me held a lifetime, every memory, every scar. There were pictures on the table, there was whiskey in my glass. For a moment I could feel myself still reaching for the past. Then I remembered all those evenings trying to save what wouldn't last. So I picked up my old suitcase and finally walked away. Some doors close because they have to. Some roads only lead you back. And a man can't find tomorrow if he's always looking back. I became the man who left without looking back. No more chasing what we had. No more waiting, no more wishing for a love that couldn't last. I became the man who left without looking back. because I didn't feel it, not because my heart went black. I just learned you can't move forward while you're living in the past. Rain was falling on the sidewalk. City lights were burning low. I heard footsteps in the doorway, but I kept on walking slow. Maybe you were standing watching. Maybe you called out my name. There was a time I'd turn around and run straight back again. But that man had spent too many years mistaking pain for love. Tonight I finally understood I'd already given enough. Walking away isn't weakness when staying costs your peace. Sometimes leaving is the moment a man finally sets himself free. I became the man who left without looking back. No more chasing what we had. No more waiting, no more wishing for a love that couldn't last. I became the man who left without looking back. Not because I didn't feel it, not because my heart went black. I just learned you can't move forward while you're living in the past. I used to think strength meant staying, fighting, holding on. Now I know better. Sometimes strength is picking up your coat, leaving the key on the table, and accepting that the life you once imagined isn't the life you're meant to live. No anger, no revenge, just enough. I became the man who left without looking back. And the night didn't feel so black. Every step became a promise. I would never lose myself like that. I became the man who left without looking back. Kept the lessons, left the sorrow, let the rain erase my tracks. Somewhere between that door and morning, I finally got myself back. The city disappeared behind me. The road ahead was quiet. No calls, no explanations, no final words. Just headlights, rain, and morning somewhere beyond the dark. For the first time, I wasn't running away. I was moving on, and I never looked back.
mention it anymore, that doesn't mean I forgot. I remember who stayed silent when they dragged my name around, who was sitting at my table and disappeared when I went down. I remember every promise made when everything was fine, and the ones who called me brother till the trouble became mine. I don't carry old resentment, I don't speak about those days, but silence doesn't mean forgetting. Some things never fade. I don't need revenge to remember what was done. I just learned who walks beside me when the easy days are gone. A quiet man remembers everything, every winter, every broken string, every hand that disappeared when he had nothing left to bring. A quiet man remembers everything. He may forgive, he may move on, he may never speak your name, but don't mistake his silence for forgetting where the scars came. Cold evening when I called and no one came. Funny how a little trouble makes familiar faces change. Then the years became much kinder, and those faces came around. Suddenly they missed the man they couldn't find when he was down. I shook their hands and smiled politely, didn't ask them where they'd been, because some lessons don't need anger, you just never forget them. Time can soften what once hurt you, but it doesn't make you blind. You can leave the pain behind you without leaving what you learned behind. A quiet man remembers everything, every winter, every broken string, every hand that disappeared when he had nothing left to bring. A quiet man remembers everything. He may forgive, he may move on, he may never speak your name, but don't mistake his silence for forgetting where the scars came. Keep a list, I don't need one. Some nights remember themselves, the empty chair, the unanswered call, the door that closed. peace is an amnesia. A quiet man remembers everything, but he doesn't let the memory pull the strings. He remembers who was loyal, who disappeared, and who believed. A quiet man remembers everything, not to punish, not to hate them, not to carry yesterday. He remembers, so the same hands never get the chance to hurt him the same way. So if we meet again someday, I'll shake your hand, I'll smile, maybe even share a drink. But if you wonder why the chair beside me isn't yours anymore, I remember. That's all. A quiet man.